So there's a lot of fun stuff that I do want to go over with you, like how Caitlyn was kind of trolling Angel, I think.
Angel Reese is a terrible basketball player. She has regressed as a player. Her decision-making is equally as bad. Her defense is now non-existent. She's gotten worse at scoring layups. She's worse at finishing through contact. She's more hesitant to shoot the ball. She now has eliminated the mid-range from her game. She's eliminated so many of the good parts of her game.
They aren't an even match anymore, so I don't know if this is still like necessarily a rivalry.
Indiana Fever destroying the pathetic Chicago Sky.
Fever versus Sky isn't much of a rivalry.
Just when it seemed like this rivalry couldn't get any more intense, Caitlin Clark didn't even play, and still ended up being the center of attention.
The Chicago Sky were also trolling Caitlin Clark a little bit because they spelled her name wrong on the Jumbotron. Who doesn't know how to spell Caitlin Clark?
From her animated reactions on the bench to a savage call-out aimed at Angel Reese, this wasn't just a victory for the Fever, it felt deeply personal. The Chicago Sky were completely dominated on their home court, and to be honest, Angel Reese experienced one of the toughest performances of her young career.
Indiana Fever beat the shit out of the Sky so bad, Caitlin Clark looked like she was legitimately bored out of her mind. This was domination. And this Chicago Sky team is not even close to the Fever.
We've got the complete breakdown, the highlights, the low points, and everything in between. Buckle up, because this is one you won't want to miss from start to finish.
She was minus 20. She's not had a game this year where the team is better with her on the bench than on the floor. Can we stop the myth that Angel Reese plays defense?
If you're a true Caitlin Clark fan, drop Caitlin Clark the GOAT Perfect score in the comments below.
No Caitlin Clark, no problem. No Sophie Cunningham, no problem. No head coach Stephanie White, have no fear. We came into your building and we just smacked you guys around.
Let's start with the obvious. This was a complete blowout. The Indiana Fever stormed into Chicago and left destruction in their wake. The final score was 79-52, a 27-point victory. And honestly, it looked even more brutal on the court. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe my channel for more awesome content. Thanks.
52 points is the lowest point total that Chicago has had since 2011. So it's actually tied for the 5th lowest, apparently, in point total in team history in a regular season game. And the Indiana Fever has beaten the Chicago Sky by a combined 62 points in 2 games.
And get this, Caitlin Clark didn't even play. No Sophie Cunningham, no head coach Stephanie White, and yet the Fever still delivered a masterclass performance.
And Angel Reese tonight was in for 27 minutes. She scored 4 points. She got 2 assists.
Today was a disaster class. She has had 3 to 4 disaster class games this year.
She's not good. She is just not good.
Acting head coach Austin Kelly stepped in with confidence, energy, and a flawless game plan. His rotations were on point, his composure never wavered, and the team responded in a big way. The Fever set the tone right from the start, dominating every quarter, especially in the second half, where they crushed the Sky with suffocating defense and an unstoppable offensive surge.
The Indiana Fever looked like a totally different team since Ari McDonald took over and started orchestrating for the team. Ari McDonald is a threat. She can score in the paint. She can score from outside of the arc. She's just a really great passer. This is the type of thing I think that they were envisioning when thinking of playing Caitlin Clark off ball, because she mentioned wanting to play off ball. This is something that she did do at Iowa.
Kelsey Mitchell led all scorers with 17 points, effortlessly slicing through the defense for easy buckets. Natasha Howard chipped in 13 points on an efficient 6 of 10 shooting, and despite dealing with some foul trouble, Aaliyah Boston still made a solid impact with 11 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists.
Tyler Marsh, the coach of the Chicago Sky, says, "I don't think Angel struggled tonight. I think we struggled as a team. It's not about Angel being better for us. It's about us being better for Angel." Nobody scored in double digits on the Chicago Sky. I did not even know that.
What's even more impressive? Not a single Fever starter played more than 30 minutes. That's how dominant they were. Ari McDonald came off the bench and immediately made an impact, racking up 12 points, 3 steals, a block, and applying non-stop pressure. She wasn't just a spark. She was a game changer, shifting the momentum every time she hit the floor. The Fever fed off her energy and completely overwhelmed the Sky in every aspect of the game.
Angel Reese right here She was deep in the bag at this point right here. This is one of her go-to moves. Dribble. Let me throw it up, and no.
Indiana was deadly from beyond the arc, knocking down 11 threes on 27 attempts. That's over 40% from deep. They shared the ball, spread the offense, and played like a team with true chemistry and growing confidence. The scoreboard said blowout, but the body language said something even louder. The Fever are starting to believe they're that team.
That kind of tells you exactly how bad the Dallas Wings are. They got beat 2 games in a row by this Sky team. This Sky team is awful.
Meanwhile, Chicago had no answers. Their offense was disjointed, their defense in disarray. While the Fever executed with precision, the Sky looked completely lost. This wasn't just a win, it was a statement.
Natasha Howard, 6 for 10, 13 points. Aaliyah Boston, 11 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Sydney Colson, 6 points, 3 assists, 2 turnovers, 2 for 5. Kelsey Mitchell, 5 for 11, 17 points. Lexi Hull, look at that, plus 19, plus 20, plus 6, plus 28, plus 27. Lexi Hull, play defense till you're full.
Even without their stars, Indiana is on the rise. But if you're an Angel Reese fan, brace yourself. This was, without question, one of the roughest outings of her pro career so far. The numbers were harsh: 2-4-7 from the field, just 4 points, and a staggering -20 in plus-minus. And if you watched the game, it wasn't just the stats, it felt rough. She looked hesitant, frustrated, and outmatched on both ends of the floor. Yes, she grabbed 12 rebounds, but it was a tough night all around.
I mean, Caitlin was pretty expressive, like, all night. She was just really cheering on the team. There's definitely going to be a gif going around everywhere of this one.
And you have to love the balanced scoring in this one when you get 17 from Mitchell, 13 from Natasha Howard, 11 from Boston, 12 from McDonald, 9 from Hull, on and on down across the board. They got a bunch of 3-point shots up in this game, 27 attempts, which is encouraging, 11 hits, 41% from 3. But the defense is the night and day difference. Now, it helps when you play the Chicago Sky.
And to be fair, credit where it's due. Angel Reese's effort on the boards is never in question. She battles hard every game in that department. But here's the tough truth. She's quickly becoming a one-dimensional player. Yes, she can rebound, but when it comes to scoring, creating offense, and defending without fouling, things are falling apart. Her shot selection was suspect, her finishing around the rim was soft, and defensively, she made little impact. This wasn't just an off night, it's becoming a troubling trend. She's had several games now where she's looked either disengaged or ineffective offensively. One sequence in the second quarter summed it up. She tried one of her signature spin moves and tossed up a wild, off-balance shot that clanged hard off the rim. No footwork, no separation, just a forced attempt in the paint that never had a chance.
And this was a Commissioner's Cup game, and there is a point differential. So blowing out the Chicago Sky is a very good thing for the Indiana Fever to be moving up in the Commissioner's Cup.
Now let's talk about turnovers. She had 3, got blocked at the rim twice, and didn't attempt a single free throw. Not one. For a player who usually thrives on physicality, that's a serious red flag. But it goes beyond the stats. It was the body language, the lack of energy. There were stretches where she looked lost, unsure, almost invisible on offense. Her teammates couldn't rely on her to create or finish, and the defense didn't even bother to guard her jump shot. One moment stood out. Aaliyah Boston scored an and one right over her. And from the bench, Caitlin Clark exploded in celebration, even calling out a missed travel on Reese earlier. It was loud, direct, and it summed up exactly how this matchup, and Reese's performance, was being viewed.
So the Indiana Fever, they shot 45% from the field. They shot 77% from the 3. And the leader of the 3-pointers, Ari McDonald.
And that's what really stings. This wasn't just a bad game. It was a nationally televised, high-stakes matchup. A marquee showdown against the Fever, a team that had clearly circled this game on their calendar. This was supposed to be the rivalry, Clark versus Reese. But instead, Angel looked more like a role player overwhelmed by the spotlight. The Fever didn't double her, didn't scheme around her. They played her straight up and dared her to make them pay. She couldn't. Let's be real. The media helped build this into something massive. Her personality, her branding, her dominance in college, all of it fueled expectations she's simply not living up to right now.
The WNBA is clearly racist. She's been all but forced to put out apologizing for being white and, well, let's be honest, being better than the black girls in the league.
Even critics who once had her in the Rookie of the Year conversation are beginning to question her trajectory. And it's not just about scoring. Her decision-making is shaky, her defensive effort comes and goes, and most concerning of all, there's been little to no development in her offensive game since the season began. Yes, rookies are expected to struggle, but they are also expected to grow. What we're seeing instead is a plateau, and it's happening far too early. Sky head coach Tyler Marsh tried to cushion the blow after the game, saying, "It's not about Angel being better for us, it's about us being better for Angel." But let's be honest, this wasn't a team-wide collapse. This was a spotlighted player looking completely lost against a team that showed up with every intention of exposing her. And they did.
Caitlin Clark effect seems to be crazier than year one.
She's my role model. I really look up to her.
Why do you like Caitlin?
Yeah, she's so good at basketball.
Because she's that awesome person and she has like a lot of aura. So
You know it's bad when analysts start saying things like, she doesn't even try to play defense anymore, or when fans are openly questioning whether she should be benched. And here's the hard truth. She's becoming a liability. Statistically, there hasn't been a single game this season where the Sky have played better with Angel Reese on the court than without her. That's not opinion, that's straight-up data. And when your name is constantly featured in national headlines, nil deals, and WNBA promotions, that kind of underperformance just doesn't fly. You want to talk rivalries? Caitlin versus Angel? Fine. But let's be honest about what it is right now, a mismatch. Caitlin Clark is making headlines even when she's not in uniform. Angel Reese? She's becoming the story for all the wrong reasons.
Angel Reese is a liar. Angel Reese is a fraud. Angel Reese is a sociopath.
Describe Angel Reese in one word.
Bitch.
Ghetto.
Bitch. Trash. Garbage. Mid.
This rivalry just got personal, and Caitlin Clark didn't even play. The Indiana Fever stormed into Chicago and demolished the Sky 79-52, all without Clark, Sophie Cunningham, or head coach Stephanie White. Even from the bench, Clark owned the moment, animated, vocal, and locked in. When Angel Reese traveled, Clark stood up and shouted, "Travel." Cameras caught it. Social media lit up. Angel Reese? She struggled. 4 points, 3 turnovers, 0 free throw attempts, and a -20+. Her energy looked off, her impact was minimal, and the Sky were clearly worse with her on the floor. What was billed as Clark versus Reese became a one-sided affair. The Fever executed like a playoff team. Reese looked lost. Clark's leadership was felt throughout, hyping teammates, engaging fans, and even declining to sign a Sky jersey with subtle class. Meanwhile, the Sky misspelled her name on the Jumbotron. Coincidence or shade? Either way, people noticed. This wasn't just a game. It was a statement. Clark didn't need to suit up to dominate the spotlight. She shifted the energy in the building without a single dribble. Reese, on the other hand, is facing real questions about her development and role. If this is still a rivalry, it's looking one-sided. The Fever are rising. The Sky? Searching for answers.